Hello, this is Dr. Dirt. It's been, wow, 4 or 5 years since I've really recorded a video. And if I put this on YouTube, here's my garden I have here up in the mountains of Virginia. Beautiful place. Well, I have a thistle here. Now I'll let these thistles grow. I also let a lot of radishes grow. This is late in the season, but I still have some radish seeds. I find that the radishes bring in the beneficial insects when they bloom. And the blooms and pods taste like radishes. And here is my wild garden here. These are blackberries here. I got a row of pine trees I inherited, which is not the best for gardening, but I need to study and I need to learn what you can plant under a pine tree. I may just start experimenting. I'm going to trim some of these branches down and open that up, and that's a lot of land not being used here. Okay, now these are my grafted tomato plants. Now I don't know if you can get a you don't have anything to go by. That plant is about, I would say if I stood next to it, it's at least a foot taller than I am. I'm 6 feet. That's 7 feet tall, and it's putting out branches all over the place. Now when I get it close in here, it's a Sun Gold cherry tomato, and I think these first 2 plants I grafted in March, I believe, and kept those babies alive without a real greenhouse. And I don't know if you can see what's going on underneath here, but I just picked all the cherries. I picked a lot of them, so you're not going to see as many. I just cleaned this out and look at it. It's already got a lot of ripe ones in there. Here's what all these bracts look like. These have bracts of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 tomatoes on these bracts. Here's one starting to get ripe. And I don't know how many bracts I have on this plant. Because I could need somebody to stand in front of here to get the scale of how big this plant is. I put a cucumber in between here, not thinking it would get that big, and I've got some strings between these 2 tomato plants. This cucumber is a bit crowded, and I'm trying to keep a lot of the leaves trimmed, these big long leaves here, trying to keep them trimmed. But if you want to see down here, the trunks on some of these is quite impressive. I don't know if you can see the trunk of this tomato, how big it is back there, but it's quite large. I saw a cherry tomato at the Epcot Center that was years old. I just wonder how they kept that thing from getting blight. I guess a lot of copper. And here's the second one that I grafted. And I go up over my head, and it's going up there. A lot of these leaves I take off because I'm going to try to get as much light in here as possible. This one's also got a lot of cherry tomatoes to pick. I think I picked 50 or 60 already off one plant. The other, yesterday, a lot. And I put this squash in between, and it's doing well. It's putting out squashes. It's defending itself, so it's not getting too overtaken by the tomatoes. Now here is a Sun Gold tomato that I didn't graft, and you can see, it's got beautiful tomatoes on it, and they're ready to pick. But you can see that it's smaller, a good deal smaller. Here's the top of the cage. Those are 5-foot cages. You can see it only extends a little over the cage. On those cages, you can see the top of the cage is a good deal above those, and thicker stems, a lot more tomatoes on the plant. Now this was a sheet mulch experiment. A lot of the weeds came on this row. I put cardboard down, I put some straw, I put a little manure, and then I put a lot of the grass that we pulled from another bed down there where I had beets. Just layered that stuff in there, and I had a layer of soil and stuff pretty high here. And I had these same holes that I planted tomatoes in last year, and because they're grafted roots, they can handle the same soil. And then I put all this, and it was grass in between, so I just sheet mulched the whole thing. And pull some of the stuff away, and just right in the, right in those rotting grass and stuff, I planted this. See these basils, and see there, and I've got parsley, and I've got a bunch of buckwheat all over this garden. Beautiful. Let me see if I can get back, and you can just get a view of these 4 tomatoes. It's at the end, yeah, that's a tomato forest. That's 4 tomatoes placed 5 feet apart in cages, the cages. So that's 20 feet of tomatoes, and they're doing pretty good. And I'll go from the back side of the garden. Oh, I hate stepping on my bed. I shouldn't do that. But for filming purposes, here's the back side of all those tomato plants. And you can see how nice they look with the evening setting sun on them. That one's beautiful. Look how it's shining. Now this plant here, while I'm here, I might as well show you my pepper plant. Might as well do this to show everything growing beautifully. This is called, if I can get close to it, or if I get to it from the side, this is a Chinese 5-colored pepper. And it's got these large peppers on that, and they turn different colors. They go through 5 different color phases, and I know one of them, it gets really cream colored for a while, and I think it gets reddish and more orange at some point. And have lots of stuff growing here. All this is just beans that were just planted. I got a row of carrots here for fall garden. See the little guys coming up? There they are. A nice row of carrots. Look at all them carrots. Got 2 rows of carrots along here. And I got a row of beets over here. Probably going to have to turn this into another video. Where are my beets? There they are. Here's some close-ups of the beets in this bed. And then I've got more carrots planted in this bed here. This is tomatillas. And these are hot peppers. And look at this beet here. I just couldn't pull this beet because I don't know why. It just grew under here, and it was under the row cover. And this just looks like a potted plant. It looks like this African plant. Isn't it beautiful? So if I could grow a whole row of beets like this, now that would be something. But I put these rocks here, and I had this place to put row cover. And maybe cool tonight. I may put row cover over this stuff tonight because it's August, and this is hot peppers. And they almost died when I had them in here, and they've come back so far. One of these is a ghost pepper, and there are other 2 kinds. I guess what I'm trying to show you is blooming. So I haven't seen any pep. Oh, I got little peppers on this one. They're supposed to be so scary hot, I'm afraid to try them out. Now I've used that Chinese pepper, and I have some peppers on the back porch that I kept the plants overwintered, and they are all producing peppers now, so I'm already able to cook with them. So I'm right in the sun, and so I shouldn't go that way. There's a bunch of stuff up there too. Here's my huge nettle patch, which I need to probably harvest some of this and this stuff, although it's good to harvest some with flowers too, I found. You know, they say only get the leaf, but I heard the flower has different properties, so I should harvest some of this to go to flower, and then I'm going to cut it all back again and put it in my big compost. My corn, oh, something pulled that corn down. Look at that. Who was in here eating corn? This was today. I mean, I already ate a bunch, but look at that. Somebody got my corn. Look at that. Who was in here? It wasn't that way an hour ago. I was on the phone with somebody. Boy, somebody really was in here. This looks like raccoon damage. First time I ever had one. And somebody, yeah, that's falling out. It looks like I just got bit by that nettle walking in here. Darn it, they got about every year. I mean, how many? Golly, at least they ate it all. Look at all these ears. Well, I'm going to sign out and I'll sign back in.